This second build is the one I probably have the most footage of. I love using poison to keep the pressure on, and it results in some tragic kills. I love using the caestus to counter poise or spam, and the Dex Gouge build does exactly that incredibly well. Not only does it work best for the poison and punching that I wanted, but this build also makes these weapons seriously powerful. Footage may come from a few levels, but all versions revolve around getting the most damage out of the Rotten Ghru curved sword and the caestus. This here is the poster boy for this build, my level 69 Dex Gouge glass cannon. Gouge is a term I picked up from the Bloodborne subreddit that just means highly prioritizing one stat, and you can see I did that here. I have more dex than I have levels, actually. Obvious strength weapons like great clubs aside, just about every infusible weapon performs best on a high dex build. Even some big weapons like the Lothric Knight Greatsword and the Herald Greatsword. If your favorite weapon can be infused, go to Souls Planner and check its numbers sharp infused on an 80 dex build. It'll probably do more damage than whatever you were using. But two of my favorite weapons are the Rotten Ghru Curve Sword and the caestus. And for some reason, their scaling is particularly bonkers on a super high dex build. I mean, look at that. Plus 236, plus 197. I mean, this is almost greatsword damage. Keep in mind, the sharp infusion still allows for resins and papers to be used, which makes the poison buildup incredibly reliable on the Rotten Ghru Curve Sword, and can push the damage up to ridiculous numbers. Like, let me show you. So this is 427 on the Curve Sword, 547 on a small Curve Sword that hits this quickly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, going through more of the build, is starting with the armor. Always the Millwood Knight Helm, always the Gauntlets of Thorns, which I always have to counter Tears of Denial, but the poison actually does a fantastic job of doing that as well. Everything else is pure fashion. Actually, everything but the Thorn Gauntlets is pure fashion. I love the way that this Dragon Scale armor looks. I have this sort of off gold theme going, and those ruined legs there, I think it looks fantastic. I don't need the poise. I guess the extra defense is helpful even if I'm not using the poise, and I'm sure I can get away with less vitality if I wanted different armor, but I really love the way it looks, and this super light setup works really, really well for me. Let's go to the rings. So, as always, we have the Prisoner's Chain. The Hunter's Ring gives a little bit extra dexterity, and even up here at level 72, it still does pretty good work. You can see, yeah, we're getting nine extra damage on the Rotten Ghru Curve Sword, which isn't much, but it stacks, especially with some of the other stuff we have here. The Chloranthy Ring, a highly aggressive build, is always well served by the Chloranthy Ring. It's kind of hard to beat it. It works really, really well. Allows me to keep my aggression really high. And my flex slot here, when I'm in the thick of it, will have the Pontiff's Right Eye. A lot of the weapons, or actually the main ones here and some of the other offhand third weapons, which we'll get to in a moment, they all sort of rely on combos, and this is basically free damage if you do it. After just a few hits, you'll have the boost to it, and with the lightning paper on top, it just gets really, really strong. The note of combos. This here, I know I didn't invent this. I have no claim to it, but I haven't really seen it talked about too much. But the full weapon art here combos into an R1 if you queue it up directly. So this multi-hit thing is definitely going to get the Pontiff's Right Eye going, and that follow-up, it does really good damage, and it's a big part of the playstyle. I try to get the poison to make them start making mistakes, and the moment they back up to heal, which you can really bait it out, especially if you have the pressure of the poison on them. There's a certain amount of space that some people will just panic heal, or if I heal first when I'm close to them, they'll usually do it, and I can just run up, do that, bang, and it does really, really big damage. It's also really good for punishing parries. This first part is unparryable, so if you know someone's going to do it, you can follow up with quite a lot of damage with that extra follow-up. And everyone knows the roll catch potential of this thing is insane. You'll see me doing staggered R1s, like 1, 2, wait a moment, 3, 4, and that'll catch someone rolling around you. And it's with this high damage, it's just incredible. And making poison work on top is super fun for me. The only things that I change at the different levels are Vigor will change. I mean, you can see I'm pretty glass cannon-y right now, but the Vigor and Dex will lower or increase. At meta level, I won't need this, so I'll get another ring slot and probably put on maybe the Havel's ring to try some other things out. Which, speaking of, this third weapon here, it varies depending on how much extra Vigor I have, but the options that you'll see used here aren't critical to the build. These two main weapons are super effective in a big variety of situations on their own. And I have this for, and sometimes some flashy finishers, with my favorite choices being the Whip, which has a lot of style, especially as a finisher. It chips through shields and annoys parry spammers. It doesn't really have great damage, but it's really fun, especially the weapon art. Let's see, yeah, that there. I'll use that on my, usually the lower level builds. It can be good to finish off. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. The dagger is overall the best, I would say. Its speed, its running and rolling attacks, and the weapon art are all really, really good at finishing off a slippery foe. And it's even lighter than the whip. So it's really easy to throw on there and gets, as you can see, huge scaling as well from the Sharp Infusion. And although I don't really use criticals that much, it's nice to have that huge boost that it gets. You can one-shot over-leveled phantoms with it. So overall, the best complement to the build. It does things that these two don't with its quick step and its super high criticals. The other choice being the Crowquills, which, like all thrusting swords, is a good chase down, and it is good at interrupting heals from someone that's running. I think it looks gorgeous as well. I don't really use the L1s that much. If I'm doing that sort of thing, I'm probably going to just stick to the curved sword. The weapon art can be used for really interesting timing setups and positioning setups. You can move this in almost any direction, give that a really big delay, and it can be fun, but it's mostly just for fun, like all these are. And then the last option is the Frayed Blade. There we go. It is the heaviest option and requires some equipment load adjustment. You see I don't use it here at the level 69 version. It has, as everyone knows, a really great running attack. It's good for catching someone who's running away from you. The weapon art, this flurry doesn't do a lot of damage, and I don't have any FP, so you don't get to see that really cool effect. Let me just fix that real quick. Nice. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It can be annoying, and if you see it spammed, it looks like it's OP or something, but it really doesn't do a lot of damage. It's mostly for getting the bleed build up, which works really well against turtles or anyone rolling around you. And it's a cool finisher, too, especially if you combo it with the R1, with that little animation cancel. And then the beam is good for catching someone running away, or if someone happens to be all in a nice straight line, which you see in this video. But above all, you can mostly tell which level I'm at based on my health and, of course, the location. And most of the invasions will be with this version. I've mentioned plenty of times, but I love the around this level range with high damage and plus 10 weapons. It gets a good variety of enjoyable places to invade, and I still feel like I'm ahead of the curve on damage, which is always nice as an invader. Alright. So there it is. And let's get to the invasions. Got a nice one-on-one to start. Get our rouge on. Look at that. Came out before he could do anything. There's that staggered R1 combo. Wait for him to heal. And there's that follow-up R1 and the roll catch. Quick, Beautiful with the fancy bow there, backflip bow. Beautiful. GG. Okay, this host is either looking for more invaders or really, really hoping to find a blue. We just gesture around a bit. Right there, I knew he was probably going to try to R1 out. And look, I give him just a little bit of space. Know it's coming. Know I can get my combo. And with the Pontiff's Ring giving me the combo boost there, we end up just deleting him. GG. Ooh, who's ready to go? Let's show him that we're ready to do the same. Look at that damage. Look at it. Oh, and the staggered R1 getting that roll catch. GG. If they're rolling around you and you wait just a little bit, you'll get them. Okay, and I always have pine resin on all my builds that have buffable weapons. The pale pine, specifically to counter those stupid sorcerer ears. Normally I'll do it with the caestus. I call that my mage be gone, but oh, no need here. That combo in with the pygmy mage, beautiful. GG. This one I think might be a level 50 or 60. It's a little bit lower. Oh, almost got him in one combo. I dodge a little too late, and he saves him. Look at that. Good in and out from these two players. And here we see a little showcase with the Frayed Blade. Must have made some adjustments to get this on the lower build. But yeah, lined up like that, it can be really helpful. Easy setup for that weapon R combo. And you can see it doesn't really do a lot of damage, but it does build up that bleed. And I have my NPC back up there. Switch my rings around. I had the cat ring on. Just put it on in advance. I don't leave it on. I don't like to ring swap in the air. Let's get my combo going, and a combo is exactly what I give them here. Oh, got to respect the R1 spam. The reason that worked is because they were trying to just R1 spam me as well. And if you saw and look carefully, I got 2 tears pops, and then both of them were finished off by the poison. That last HP, beautiful. GG. Anytime you're near an elevator, just put it on. Just get the caestus. It's great. I have probably entire videos worth of just using the caestus in elevators. I was planning on just getting out of here quickly, but the host is right there. Look at that pitiful damage. There's something up with the drop attack, but that high damage, people do not expect it, and no health on that player. GG. whole team here. Not a whole team, actually, but a group of co-opers. Just coming in hard. Yeah, the music that was on at this time works really well. Is that not the feeling when you show up to overleveled phantoms? Trying to get myself some space. Okay, only one of those is overleveled, but that split leaf greatsword will combo you into oblivion if you're not careful. And they are aggressive. They are coming for me. Ooh, look at that. Did not think I was going to get it. Try to finish up with the firebomb here, but this phantom is aggressive. I love it. That wasn't enough to kill them. Look at this. Sometimes, actually oftentimes, the best thing to do when you're low on health is attack out of it. Players don't expect it, and you saw right there a double phantom kill because I decided to attack rather than dodge and heal. Just there was my first missed fist drop attack. You'll remember from the Demon's Fist video that I try to get them when I can, and one-on-one I know I can probably take this player, so I'm gonna just mess around a bit. The music's ridiculous, so I thought to myself, let me get that fist drop attack, and you'll see me fail time and time again. It's really hard to land. Caestus has great chase down. The second they turn around to attack, throw on that Perseverance, and it'll outtrade pretty much everything. We all know this is a dead end. I know it's a dead end. So I try to just block this guy in. Get a hit. And you... Beautiful. The last thing they tried to do was kick when I punched, so we had a little bit of a melee there. GG. That was fun. This was the night I had Bloodborne music going. Ooh, look at that damage. And look, right next to each other. How romantic. GG. This was a fun one. I have a co-invader. Full server. But I can only see these two blues and the red. So I duel this first blue. Massive damage out of those cell swords. Gotta be careful. But mine's a little faster. Notice how I didn't heal there. If you are careful with your range, yet again, instead of panic healing, attack into it, it'll help. Beautiful. Beautiful. Stagger from me, final hit from this other red. GG Blues. So we've committed to being down here. We both wanted to get rid of those blues. And the party is nowhere to be found. Checking for chameleon spots. But they have no interest in finding us and fighting us. So it looks like, and you can hear that attack there, the red figures, let's fight each other. And I'm down. I give the crow quills a shot. That curved sword parry, it's what I was trying with this setup with the curved sword on the left. Tried to get the parry, couldn't, but oh, beautiful, stylish, GG. But yeah, I went for the parry. I can usually do that with anything other than the curved swords. And what often happens is characters will copy what you do. So I went for a parry, so they went for a parry, and that's what I punished with the backstab. Oh, this one's great. So I got a great shield. Two-handing it. If you're ever up against a great shield, just keep wailing on it. Just keep wailing on it, especially if you have something with a status effect. Look, I'm not even waiting for my stamina to go back. I'm not even taking the time to buff. I'm just wailing on them. They will break eventually. And he gets poisoned too! Oh, the classic Hunter Charm follow-up. And I want to have some fun with it. Boom. Beautiful. That whip goes through the shields, especially with the weapon art. And look at that. Missed on the drop attack. That's the drop attack he wanted. The stagger was too long. I could follow up with an R1. This host was probably trying to R1 out of that too, but I love that. A missed drop attack followed by a successful one. Oh, and this. I was using Wex Dust, and I happened to get a Spear of the Church, and you can hear Gehrman's theme getting into gear right as I did it. I don't care if you believe me or not. I have no way to prove it, but this happened live. And I knew I had to give a good showing getting given this special opportunity. Getting pulled into this. Using Wex Dust. Got right out of there. There's that chase down with the rapier. Trying to heal. Caught with the rapier. Beautiful. GG. Right on my favorite part of the song, too. Our last clip here has... Just look. Oh. Got the flurry weapon art. You'll notice they were already poisoned, so this started earlier, and I got them with the Rotten Ghru curved sword, so switched over to this for fun. The flurry combo, and then the beam follow-up. The tip of the sword must have hit him because I saw the bleed, or maybe the beam does bleed, I'm not sure. Either way, entire health bar gone. Flashy, it was beautiful. And now we have just the host. Switch to the caestus, great counter for poise. Really, the moment they attack, I just press reverence, and look how much more damage I do with 2 L1s. Almost gets me there. Really smart move with the throwing knife. You can actually see it sticking out of me, which means the only reason it didn't hit was just a fraction of a moment off. GG. Thanks for watching. You will definitely see more of this build, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and the bell.